Yeah, let's go.
Cool.
And we are live. So let's see. Let's get this rolling. Okay, guys, just want to welcome everyone who is starting to tune in over here, obviously on the Review Bros channel. And today we are with good friend, expert formulator, Apollon nutrition owner, Rob. Rob, it's really, really good to be speaking with yourself again. Yeah,
missed you guys. It's been a while.
It has been a long, long time. Obviously, it's not been the best of years, last year especially. So fingers crossed, this year's a better year. So Rob, what we've done, as you know, is throughout this past week, we've been asking our audience, and you've been asking your audience to come up with some questions for this show. We've got a lot of questions for you, so I do hope you are ready for those.
Ready for it.
You know what? A bunch of people actually asked me this morning, are you ready? I mean, like everybody's anticipating something, I guess, like a World War III or something. But to be honest, I wasn't preparing for this. I watched UFC last night. I ate a lot of sugar, so I'm fired up and I feel good. And like I said, very transparent. It's a conversation with friends, just happens to be recorded. That's it. That's how I look at it.
Awesome to hear. So whenever you're ready, Rob, I'll roll
Let's go.
A question. So a big reveal last week, Assassin version 7. What can you reveal to us about it, really?
The plan is for it to be released sometimes at the end of April, I suppose. But, you know, with the year that we've had and, you know, everything going in the world right now, there are constant delays. So I'm always very, very careful because Bare Knuckle was supposed to be released months ago. And there was always either shortage of containers or shortage of ingredients, delays, transportation, and all kind of stuff. So I'm very hesitant to say exact dates and timelines, but the plan is for it to be released at the end of April, hopefully, give or take few weeks, hopefully not months. And I just want to stay true to what it represents. You know, the whole point is I always go back to this, to what Shane, you know, said to me a couple of times, and he said it on the final scoop too, is the fact that Apollon has to remain Apollon. We cannot try and compete with anyone else. You know, I always say that Apollon is the best in its own category. I never say that Apollon is the best brand because it's simply not true. It depends what you're looking for, but I just want to make sure that we stay true to who we are, and you know, we don't betray people that are fans of the brand, people that are faithful to the brand, and I just want to make sure. So you know, to expect that Assassin all of a sudden is going to be C4 or it's going to be something, you know, that you find at Walmart. We're not competing with Radcon. We're not competing with Blackstone. We're not competing with any brands. That's the reason why I'm so puzzled when certain brands are attacking us, as I have zero interest attacking anyone. I have zero interest in any brands. You know, there are a few brands that I really admire, what they represent, and you know, the quality of their products, and I'm always very vocal about it. Even when that's probably going to clarify a few things. Even when I seem to be aggressive towards certain people, channels, brands, that's not because I choose to. That's not because I want to. That is because they choose to say things that are simply not true and to attack either. I don't really care about my character because whether you like me or not, I really don't give a shit. But when you attack my brand, that, you know, like I said many times, we work so hard to really put out the best possible products on the market. Again, in our category, there are people who are whose lives depend on it in terms of, you know, the livelihood, the salaries, the future security of their families. And when you're trying to threaten that for absolutely no reason, just because you're either jealous or bitter or didn't have sex for a while, that has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with my brand. Stay in your own lane. I have no interest whatsoever to step on yours. And Assassin it's not going to be a huge surprise. I can reveal that we are changing the label. I can reveal that we are changing the look. More than likely, the size of the container is going to be changed as well. presentation, from marketing perspective. And I'm gonna say this: we are trying to go kind of back a little bit to the roots, which kind of is, I guess, ironic because we never really left the roots. But in terms of people saying, "Oh, you're going to have DMA," we will not have DMA, and I'm kind of sick and tired of answering that question. Nothing personal against DMA. I think it's a great ingredient, but it is illegal. Apollon is on. We've never had illegal substances. When we had DMA, DMA was allowed. It was, it was not a banned substance. Right now, it's a banned substance. We will not put banned substances in our product. If they, as you call them, gray area or something like that, that's one thing. But if it's banned, it's banned. It's illegal. We're not playing that game.
Yeah, I think what they're definitely going to ask is it going to be hard hitting those?
Oh, absolutely. That goes without saying. It's not going to be bare knuckle. That's for sure. That's going to be a hard hitting pre-workout. Same as you come to expect from Assassin, with few modifications. But ours to go softer, that's not going to happen.
Awesome. Very, very excited for that. That's going to be
more hard every year.
Yeah, I mean, like, you have to stay true. It's the same thing as as your channel, for example. You started one way, I believe, when was it, 2018, right?
Yeah.
2018. The core of your channel remained the same. It's Aaron and Craig, and you just got better, but you still playing off of what the core of your channel, of how you used to be. Maybe the quality of the videos is better. Your knowledge is obviously evolved. You know more about supplements, and clearly you know the ingredients, and that's the reason why you're so expertly breaking them down. But the core remained the same. If you're going to try and be Eddie, or you're going to try to be the supplement engineer, or PricePlow, or any other channel, I think that it's safe to say you're going to fail. Clearly what you're doing works for you, and you have to play off that. So why would Assassin be a softer pre-workout? Granted, it's not going to be 1,000 milligram of caffeine either, because simply it's just stupid. Let's do things using our brain and approach it from that perspective. Then we had 600 milligram of caffeine, let's double that and make it a stronger pre-workout. Stronger and better are two different things. I always wanted to make a better pre-workout. Every version of whether it's Hooligan or Assassin, I strive to get better than the one before. And Hooligan is a perfect example. V4 had 700 plus milligram of caffeine, while 5 has 600. I mean, I think like 90 milligram less, but the product is far better. So, it's not necessary to go and it's still a hard-hitting pre-workout, but it's a better overall pre-workout, more pump, more focus, rather than just like, okay, we had 7, let's go to 8. Just dumb.
Yeah.
Around, definitely. Changing the subject slightly, Rob, what is the reason for your latest body transformation? Obviously, you've got even more swole than normal recently. People have been noticing.
Challenge, midlife crisis, stupidity, but mostly just challenge. And mostly, once I had my last fight a couple of years ago, there were ups and downs. Obviously, I went through certain things, passing of my mom, and just a lot of things were changing. And right now, as number 46 was approaching, I looked at some pictures from 7, 8, 9 years ago and realized that no, I don't like the sound of age is just a number, because obviously older we get, we feel it in our joints, we feel in our recovery and whatnot. But I just wanted a challenge, and I wanted me, you've been to my gym, that I use my supplements. So part of it was, I'm not going to deny, from marketing reasons. I wanted to show that 46, you can still do it. Hey, Brian. And part of the reason was a challenge that I just wanted to do something. I'm quite happy with the results that I achieved in 10 weeks, but I know in my heart that I can do better. So, I decided that I will take a small break. We'll do my blood work at the end of March, what old people do.
Yeah.
and then go for another round and see how far I can go.
Awesome. excited to see how far you can take it.
Yeah.
So something that keeps popping up, and it's one of those controversial questions, and it's one we love to hear about, and that's, what do you think is the best review channel of supplements out there?
I'm doing an interview with you, so if I say anything but Review Brothers, I might get in trouble. You know what? I think that this is going to be probably a very politically correct answer.
Yeah.
I know that everybody has their own favorites. Hey, Sharif. I know everybody has their own favorites, ranging from even PricePlow and, Eddie and yourselves and TJ. I think it all comes down to what the fans, let's call them that, are looking for. I think that's what it comes down to. You know how I feel about your channel. I've said it numerous times. To me personally, among the very best, arguably the best, simply because I like the fact that how you break down each and every ingredient. And while I see a lot of issues with certain channels where they will see an ingredient that is clearly underdosed, and they will not call that ingredient out. They will not call that company out. And I like that. When you advertise that, put up a picture that I think Marc Lobliner, yes, the 015 brand. When I saw the the profile of that product, and I'll be honest. I mean, I expected more. And when I saw that you put it up and you said that Mark sent it to you, or Mark or his company, it doesn't really matter. I'll be honest, I was worried. I was worried because not that I doubted you. I don't want to offend you by saying that, but I was worried because you did say, and I remember that they sent you. That means not the store sent you. You didn't buy it. No, nobody give you as a gift, but the actual company actually sent you the product. I saw it as a possibility, and again, not accusing you of anything, because I don't. But I was like, it's very hard when a company sends a product, because obviously they expect that you're going to rave about the product. But once I saw the review, I think it cemented my belief that you are the very top of the review channels right now on the market, because and it's very, very interesting, because you are not nasty. And that's very, very important. You are not nasty. You are not cursing them, not offending them. You just basically read the label. You shared your experience of how the product was. And I did not use the product, but from what I saw, it was exactly what I expected you to say. And I mean, we always had a very good, friendly relationship. And, I do consider you friends. But I was genuinely concerned. And that concern went out of the window when I saw the review. And my hat is off to you for calling things as they are. And I think that yours is the channel that other channels should aspire to be. Not copying you. Everybody should kind of remain true to their identity. I hate copying, but I think that they could learn a thing or two from you, because to be able to explain the label to the ingredient, and considering all the ingredients, they constantly evolving. I mean, look, there is always new research. 2-3 years ago, I praised glycer pump, right? Glycerol. I praised it until recently. We came to realize that it's not really a phenomenal ingredient, and you need shitload of it for it actually to work. And 2, 3, 5, 6 grams is essentially nothing. All it will do is most likely clump the product and still not provide you with the benefits that you're looking for. But again, I praised it 2-3 years ago. Now I removed it from my product, proudly removed it from my product. So I think that it's not only me, it's the channels too. They have to constantly evolve. And just because there's a trademark ingredient that came out that looks fancy and has a little R or TM on the side, it should not be automatically a great ingredient. And, again, case in point, Robert Chinetsky shits all over S7, and rightfully so, because that ingredient is garbage. Yet it's trademark ingredient. Most companies, I had it too. And I'm embarrassed that I had it. because if we are transparent, we should be transparent. It's a shit ingredient. Everybody jumped on board because we thought that it's all that, until we realized there is not much of a proof that it's actually a good ingredient, and it's very questionable. So evolving as a brand, evolving as a channel, and getting better and learning your craft and perfecting your craft, I think this what makes you. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's 100% okay to make mistakes, but own your mistakes. Be proud of your mistakes. Say like, okay, I fucked up, but look, I'm trying to fix this. I'm trying to get better.
Yeah.
And I think that's what matters the most. And I kind of elaborated on a question of the Bash channel. Regardless of who thinks what, when a conversation of the Bash channel comes up and Review Brothers are not considered as the top one, I think then people whoever is ranking those channels just don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because you're definitely among the best.
Thank you so much, Rob. That really means a lot, and we will always strive to keep it 100% honest on our channel. And it's actually funny you mentioned the S7 and the trademarked ingredients, because actually on the podcast only last weekend, myself and Craig, we were mentioning that these trademarked ingredients, they've all got the research behind them from the companies that are making the trademarked ingredients. So therefore, they sort of push all of that data into make it look favourable that ingredient works. So just because you see 8, 9, 10 trademarked ingredients on a container doesn't always make it the best.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely. So. And sort of segueing off of that question, another interesting question for you, Rob, is a question we get asked a lot actually, is Assassin or Excelsior? Which one's better? Which one's stronger? Which one should I buy? Why do you think those two are compared when they're really in different leagues altogether? You could argue that one of them isn't even really a pre-workout. And what is your thoughts on Excelsior as a pre-workout as well?
I don't think it's a pre-workout. I don't think it should be classified as a pre-workout. And I have very, very strong feelings about that because, I don't really like the term stim junkie. I think that stim junkie, it's okay to like stims. I think I like stims. I like stims. I like to be energized. I like to feel the drive. I like it. I mean, there is no doubt about it. I'm definitely a stim person, within reason, of course.
Yeah.
But when you are saying stim junkie, I mean, we're making supplements to better performance in the gym, and that's what it's all about. They call sports supplements for a reason. And when a product like Excelsior that has 5 or 6 gram scoop with proprietary blend and has very little, we don't even know what it has. I mean, based on the list that they're listing, there is not much in terms of improved performance. I can assure you that not one real athlete will take that product. Why? Because number one, he's going to be, and rightfully so, he's going to be afraid that he's going to test positive, that he's going to fail a drug test, and then a lot of it is on the line. I mean, within 5-6 grams, you clearly can see, hey, Lucas, happy birthday again. You can see that, obviously there is no such thing as citrulline, even though I think it's listed there. But if it's a 5-6 gram scoop, how much citrulline do you think is in it? So, from a pump perspective, obviously there is no pump. The focus you get probably from some kind of a spike. I mean, clearly it's not manufactured in a legit facility. Clearly there is no testing. Clearly there is no certificate of analysis. It's shady. The label is shady. People did have adverse reactions. Not that you cannot have adverse reactions to Assassin. You can have adverse reactions to any product that is loaded with stims, but at least you're gonna know what's in it. You're gonna know how much of a certain ingredient that you don't want is in it, and you can just say like, I'll pass. Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of people reacting negatively to Excelsior. I mean, to me personally, I think it's offensive for Excelsior to be compared to any legit product on the market that goes through testing, that goes through a lot of money to put out a great product. Yet if you look from a retail perspective, it costs as much as Assassin, it costs as much as Inspired, it costs as much as Glaxon, sometimes more. Those are all legit companies. In Nova Farm, you have legit companies putting out legit product in a manufactured in legit facility, to improve athletic performance. And then you have a drug. You don't know what's in it. Yeah, I mean, if you want to feel high, just go to your doctor and ask him to prescribe you Adderall. Will it help with performance? Yeah, it will. But is it an actual supplement? Is it an actual pre-workout? Can it fuck you up pretty badly and have adverse reactions? Yes, it can. So for anyone to say that it's a pre-workout, I think it's offensive to a real pre-workout. I think C4 is a better pre-workout than Excelsior because maybe it's not intended for somebody who is experienced. Maybe it's not strong enough, but at least the ingredients that are in it, they're there to support athletic performance and to better it. Not Excelsior, which is, I think it was Logan who sent me, because I've never used it, obviously, but he sent me a picture of what it looks like, the powder. I mean, it looks like fucking crystal meth.
Yeah,
it doesn't even look like a real powder. And I think that, if you look, like when people are saying like Excelsior is the best pre-workout on the market, then, hey, Matt, when they say it, I think that, again, if you want to take Excelsior, by all means, it's a free country, do whatever the fuck you want. But it's not a pre-workout. And if somebody's going to say it's a better pre-workout than Assassin or Hooligan, will I get offended? No, I don't. Because, you can't compare, pizza to Isolate. There's completely different products, serving different purposes. So, you want pizza, you want to be a fat fuck? Okay, by all means, go for it. That's your choice. You want to take Excelsior, you want to be called a stim junkie? Junkie is a junkie. That's a term referred to a drug addict. It's not referred to an athlete. Again, I like stims, but I wouldn't consider myself a stim junkie. I'm not looking for, for a hit. I'm not looking to, I'm not desperate to feel that way. And, I don't want to put in my body something that I don't know what's in it. I don't know what is in that product. I don't know where it's manufactured. And I doubt you can even find out where it's manufactured because it's basically made, I would suspect, the same way as underground anabolic steroids that are, powders are ordered from China and you don't even know what's in it. And then somebody makes them in the basement. You want to take the risk? Sure, go for it.
That's the other.
But I wouldn't compare Assassin and Excelsior, at least not me. If somebody wants to compare it, go ahead, but that's not our market. I'm not competing with Excelsior. I could care less about it.
I think the other important thing to mention at this point is that your products, where you go up in the versions, they get better and better and better and more towards comprehensive, all-rounded pre-workouts, whereas something like that, they live off the first batch that affected people strongly, and some people do like that. Now, what has happened is obviously as the newer batches are coming out, they're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So therefore, they're not even applicable to those people that even liked it at the beginning. So therefore, they're now almost applicable to no one at all out there in the market whatsoever. So, yeah.
I think it also comes down to, and I think that we posted about this. Hey, Jason, what's up? We actually talked about this recently with a friend of mine who owns a supplement store, Aris Nutrition. His name is Patrick. You've met him, I forgot.
Yeah.
We talked recently, and he flat out said to me he would never carry Excelsior. This is a guy who carries actually, only the best products on the market. That's what he wants. He wants to carry the best products on the market, not shady crap that, sooner or later something bad's going to happen to somebody. Just there is no reason for that. But you also have store owners that will push Excelsior as the best thing on the market. Why? Because of the profit. Simple as that. There is no moral responsibility. Nobody cares. Let's face it. Most of the time, people care about money. And from what I understand, the owners of Excelsior said numerous times that they have the best pre-workout on the market. You don't have the best pre-workout on the market. You have the best drug on the market disguised as a pre-workout. There's a huge difference.
That's it, yeah. Frustrating as a channel because people come to us and they're like, oh, what's on Excelsior level? Excelsior's the best pre-workout ever. I can't find anything that's as good as Excelsior. And we're like, stop taking Excelsior. It's not a pre-workout. Try actual good products.
And there are a lot of good products, and people say to me, is Assassin the best? Is Hooligan the best? I keep saying it's not about that. There are great, great, great products. And, I think Mitch, Subs on Deck, he asked a question, what other supplements I would take or other brands. And I can recommend few brands that I think absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you have Iron Brothers. Mark is a great, great guy. He's putting out legit products. Chris from Innova Farm, great products. I mean, I can't say Inspired. They put out a great product. You have Hypermax, excellent pre-workout as well. You have quite a few that are really, really good. There is no need to, I mean, whatever you want, stronger or weaker, you can always find something that will work for you. But why would you do it to your body and, put something that you don't even know what's in it?
Yeah, we've heard.
Just because it's going to get you high and euphoric and all that, and because the owner of a store says this is going to, I mean, you know what? I can put 1,000 milligrams of caffeine in a pre-workout as a prop blend. You will feel it. You will 100% feel it. It's going to cost me less than $1. It's going to be so cheap, and you will feel it. Yeah. I'll put it in a prop blend, of 5 gram, and I write that there is beta-alanine in it, and citrulline in it, and God knows what else, and tyrosine, which is going to be like probably 250 milligram. I'm going to give you that. None of those ingredients you will feel, but you will feel the caffeine. You will definitely feel it, and then you're going to post and you're going to say like, "Oh shit, this is the best and the strongest pre-workout I've ever had," and you just had shitload of coffee.
Yeah. See it all the time. So moving on into a question that popped up from one of our followers. So it's regarding our good friends PricePlow. So why are some people such as yourselves and this was directed towards us as well, so critical of channels like that?
I can say why I'm critical of them, and I know a lot of people that are critical of them, and I'll try my best not to be overly aggressive or to be nasty. In fact, I'll just I'll calmly answer that question. Hey Jose, I think that the whole point, at least it's my opinion, we all in it to make money, and we would be lying if we said we didn't. We're running businesses, whether it's a brand, whether it's a store, and even if it's a review channel, that's fine too. There is nothing wrong with making money. I mean, you work hard, you're putting out content. I don't think that it should be illegal or immoral for you to make money. There is nothing wrong with it. However, there is a trust issue. There is a serious trust issue. So you cannot not acknowledge certain brands just because they didn't pay you.
Yeah,
it makes you look bad. It makes you look very, very, very bad. You also cannot, there is a difference between putting out a content. Hey, Philip, thank you. There is a difference between putting out content and paid content. You cannot say that only these 5 or 6 or 7 companies are making legit products. And let's face it, Apollon has a bunch of products too. We have a bunch of products. Are all of them are good? I think they are, but there are certain products that I had to make better because they didn't live up to my standards. Like, for example, Kumite. Kumite is a great product, phenomenal product. And I believe we actually sold out of it already, of the previous formula. When I looked at it, I said, you know what? We can do better. We can do a lot better. I think it's a great product, but we could do better. So it's okay even for me to criticize it. And I actually not criticized, I pointed out that we can make a better product numerous times in the open because I think we could do better. So when you review a product or a brand that pays you money to put out a content, not every product of that company, hey Rich, By the way, Rich Vellucci just had a baby girl, so congratulations, Rich, to you, Ashley. Love you guys. Uh, and I think it's about evolving. Rich is very straightforward. If he was here, he would be a lot worse than me. But you cannot praise every product of a brand, because average the brand has 5, 10, 15, 20 products. You can't say just because they paid you, look, this is the best. You cannot like everything. When PricePlow actually did a piece on Hooligan, I believe it was a second or third version, they criticized the fact that we had 750 milligram of tyrosine, which is really not that low. It's actually, I think anything above 500 is acceptable. It's not a lot, but it's definitely not super low either, because we've seen some of the pre-workouts that PricePlow praises, they have 250 milligram, if not less, of tyrosine, which goes on, and by the way, I actually paid PricePlow, so I can go on record and say that. I paid PricePlow. I paid them for content, and I'm not embarrassed by that. I'm not, because I try to increase brand awareness. That was like maybe 3 years ago or something like that. They did interview me for free. They did check some of the products and flavors for free, and that was when I think Robert just left. CJ was with them, and.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, Pete. So I think that I will not lie or be embarrassed by that fact. And when they were doing the content, I talked to CJ, who was with them at the time, and hey, Alan, and he was honest, and he said like 750 milligram is on the lower side, but he wasn't like nasty about it or anything like that. I went immediately and doubled tyrosine. Immediately with the next version, it was 1500 milligram. I took that criticism very well. I didn't have a problem. I didn't badmouth them or anything like that. And I think that that's when PricePlow was, if not legit, then at least they were semi-legit. But right now, you have Ben bragging that he's the best formulator and expert and innovator and whatnot. And that is simply not truth. It's not true. If anything, I think that... Hey, Gary. I think that these situations and these types of reviews are hurting the industry more than anything, because I do believe, and maybe it's a little bit naive of me, but I think that you can be transparent, you can be honest. I mean, look, you reviewed, I believe, Assassin FDN, right?
Yeah.
You were not crazy, and you told me about it. You told me on the phone. We talked for about an hour. When we had one of our conversations, and you told me you did not like the flavor. And you will attest to it that not once did I say, Aaron, Craig, can you please say that it's a good flavor? I never asked you once. I never directed you, and I never said, you know what, you my friends, can you like make it sound like it's a better flavor or something like that? I would never do that. No. And you would never do that. And I'm okay with it. You know what? If anything, I'm working super, super hard to make sure that Assassin version 7 tastes better. It's a very hard task, but I'm proud of the fact, and I talked to TJ about it recently too, I'm proud of the fact that all our products, and you will confirm this easily, taste phenomenal, except our pre-workouts. I don't think they're disgusting. I think that they definitely are better than they used to be. They still need work. But the thing is that I'm trying. I'm really trying my best to get better with each and every release that we have. I'm working tirelessly on Isolate that we revealed on the final scoop that we are working on it. I actually asked my daughter's friends, her school friends, to come to our house and test some of the flavors of Isolate. I'm going out of my way to make sure that we deliver the best possible. So I'm working on it. So I think if a review channel openly lies just to justify a paycheck, I think in the long run, that review channel is hurting their credibility. It's not me they're hurting, although it's a little bit unfair that a company like Apollon doesn't get praise that it deserves.
1000%. And
we deserve to be put among the best because we are among the best. But when you're trying to avoid a conversation, when somebody is asking you what is the best nootropic, and I know for a fact that Ben Kane loves overtime. Hey, Jessica. When I know for a fact that Ben Kane loves overtime, but when he is asked what the best nootropics, he goes with the brands, only the brands that pay them. I think it's does he hurt me? No, because by this time everybody knows what overtime is. Right now, the reputation that the product got, that it's received because of word of mouth, because of channels like yours, like TJ's, like Eddie's, channels that I did not pay. I don't think they're hurting our sales, but I do think they don't realize that they're hurting themselves by avoiding a pretty obvious answer. You don't want to put us among the as the best. That's fine, but you're not going to mention us. Who are you hurting? You're hurting your own credibility, because people that have used the product that you just mentioned and have used overtime, they know better. So now you look like clowns and you look like somebody who didn't get paid. But guess what? If you were fair and you were honest, then maybe I would pay you. Maybe I would pay you for content, because now I see. I don't want to be that brand where people are going to point at me and going to say like, oh, Apollon was praised by PricePlow because they paid them. I don't want to be that. That's the reason why I'm staying away from them. I don't want to be that person. I want to be the person that when people hear PricePlow, plus I don't think they have credibility. I really don't. But I want to be that person, that brand that people go, oh, wow, you know what? This is a legitimately good product.
Yeah, 100%. And we got very annoyed with them.
Well, I think Rich put it pretty well.
Yeah, they're paid. But it's this industry-leading content that annoys me the most. Who are they leading in front of one for one?
Terrible. Moving on to the next question. It's quite an exciting one. Obviously, with Assassin FDN and Double Impact just recently launched, have you got any other plans for any other collaborations, innovations, any other products that people might not be expecting?
Craig is sneaky as fuck. I think that we're releasing a product that is going to be released on March 8th, which is going to be what Lucas calls it, a hormone optimizer. It's going to be mostly estrogen suppressant, and it's going to be I'm not a big believer in testosterone boosters, so that's the reason why I'm kind of avoiding saying that it's a testosterone booster. I would say that it's indirect, perhaps, booster, but by decreasing estrogen levels, maybe you have more. Yeah, you're right, Matt. So we're releasing that, and then we're working on Isolate right now. So it's definitely confirmed that it's going to be released sometimes in the summer. I'm working on a few collaborations that might happen this year, might happen in 22. There is also, we already, we are also working on, what else? Obviously, Hooligan, the new version of Hooligan, which hopefully will be done also sometimes summer, maybe late summer. Overtime version 3 is pretty much done. Will also be released this year. Kumite, the second version, which is going to be in powder form this time around, because it's just so stacked. It would take probably 10 to 12 pills just to make it. So it's going to be challenging because of the Pico 2 and Lion's Mane, which I pretty much confirmed that a Lion's Mane is going to be in Kumite 2, which we did not have before. But again, it still might change. So, those two ingredients are very, very hard to flavor. So that's going to be probably also sometimes in the summer. We are bringing back Shogun. Yes, Shogun is coming back actually very soon. Yeah, it's in production already. It's going to come back in April.
Jeez, I didn't expect that. That's awesome.
Yeah, there was a huge demand for Shogun. Everybody loved it. The reason why we discontinued was the same reason we discontinued Assassin at one point, because everything was starting to get banned and gray area and whatnot, and Apollon was getting bigger. So that's the reason why, we decided to, hey, Joe. By the way, Joe is the one who is responsible for the beautiful double impact label. Well, actually, for all the labels, he's done all the Apollon labels, but this one is getting so much praise, might as well give Joe credit. There's quite a few products that are coming, and we decided to kind of get a little bit more aggressive in 21 and make sure that we don't have those breaks that 6 months to a year between releases. We also releasing another flavor of Enigma, and I believe next week we're releasing another flavor of Chainsaw. So it's been pretty much nonstop for us, which we obviously very excited about.
Can we ask what flavors they are, or are you going to keep them under wraps for us?
You know what? I have to give you something, because otherwise Craig's going to have a heart attack. And plus, it might piss off Shane a little bit, but okay, he's already pissed with Robert, so we're cool. The Chainsaw is going to be actually the flavor that we used to have. It's going to be strawberry margarita.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Enigma is going to come in probably one of our most popular flavors that we had in Chainsaw, and we decided to move it to Enigma. It's going to be coconut lime.
Oh, we love that.
I love that. I do. That's my favorite.
That was very, very difficult to flavor. Probably the most difficult, because EAAs and it's so loaded. It's just it was. I mean, we've been trying to flavor it for the past couple of months. Finally, it's been it's been done, so it's going to be released in the next few weeks, I believe.
Awesome. So next up, Rob, I have the question that you did briefly mention earlier, and that is the question come from our follower. That is Apollon the best brand? No,
it's a best brand in its category. That's what I've always been saying. I think if you're looking for premium brand that is directed at athletes and those that demand only the best, to improve their performance, then I think, yes, we are the best, because I strive to be the best. And I'm a very, very competitive person. But to be honest with you, and this is not to sound arrogant or cocky, for the past couple of years, I think we've been competing with ourselves. I don't think that anyone can do what we can do.
Yeah.
And maybe because they're trying to save money, maybe because they're trying to stay in a different category, maybe because they're trying to please a different market. But I think that's good. I think that's the way it should be. I think everybody should try to be what they're good at. And these changes, these drastic changes, I don't think they work. And, perfect example would be Sparta, where they went all over the place. Olympus Labs, who openly tried to copy Ghost. I mean, let's be honest. And by the way, Ghost is actually among my favorite companies too. They're completely different from what we do. Completely different. And you know what? People talk shit about them to me, expecting that I'm going to be critical or aggressive towards the brand. I have nothing but good things to say about Ghost. I think it's a great company. I think they have done phenomenal work when it comes to marketing. I admire them. I admire Dan, who's been nothing but, I call him a friend. The guy's been super supportive. He's been praising Apollon, and likewise, I've been returning the favor, because I think that...
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and the products are good. They're completely different from Apollon. I don't think we are competitors. Their market is gigantic. Our market is a fraction of what they have. And I'm okay with it. They stay in their lane, and they try to be the best Ghost they can be. And clearly, people are copying them, which is, I think it's great, because it's flattering, And Olympus was trying to switch and be a brand that they're not. And I think it hurt them in the long run. The same way is... Gary, you're gonna like it. The same way is Apollon. I see people are copying us. I'm not stupid. At first I was a little bit upset, and then I kind of started looking at it as a compliment. It's flattering.
Yeah.
But I I'm never going to be Ghost, but doesn't mean I don't respect Ghost. I actually respect them a lot.
Yeah, I did watch
And
the final
yeah,
scoop in depth.
yeah, I don't think that they want to be a pawn either. So we can coexist. We're not shitting on each other. We're giving each other praise. And like I said many times before, Innova Farm, Ghost, Iron Brothers, Inspire. There are a lot of brand Glaxon. I mean, X and Sledge. They all have done a phenomenal job, and yet I don't view them as my competition, and I don't think they view me as competition. We all do something that we're good at, and we have our own market, we have our own followers, we have our own clients, and we coexist. I mean, I'm not going to shit on their products, and as far as I know, they never did shit on my products, so it's all good.
Yeah, everyone's got to have a slice of the pie.
Yeah, exactly. You're obviously more of a hardcore niche, and they're obviously more Ghost particularly is more of like an everyday lifestyle kind of brand.
Absolutely, and like I said, their market is always going to be much more substantial than ours, and but that's okay. That's 100% okay. I'm not trying to copy them. I'm not trying to steal their thunder. I'm not going to talk shit about them. I will, I will not attack them. I just actually ran into Jason Arns a couple of days ago, and we had a very pleasant conversation. And I congratulated him on his brand. He congratulated me on my brand and success. And, we had a pleasant conversation. I almost made him buy my groceries for me at Costco. But there is no need for it. There's really no need for it. I think it's a lose-lose situation where you start wars and you start all this bitching and complaining. It's completely unnecessary.
100% agree. Changing the subject slightly, quite an interesting one. Would you fight Marc Lobliner? And if you would, do you think you'd win?
Would I fight Marc Lobliner?
Yeah.
Well, an actual fight.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be dead. I mean, that would be bad for him. But I mean, I met Mark. Mark was actually very respectful to me. He was very nice. He came to Apollon when he was doing an event at Harris Nutrition. We talked. Apparently, he's a huge fan of boxing and he trains boxing. I I train boxing on occasion, but I wouldn't call myself a boxer or anything like that. Um, I like challenge. I mean, that's what I like. I'm very competitive. I like challenge. It doesn't necessarily mean that I hate the person. It doesn't necessarily. I mean, some people I can't stand. I'll be honest. Some people I really truly hate, despise, in fact. But but I think that one of my very good friends, Chris Munoz, the one who actually beat me once in a competition. We've been very good friends. We talk all the time. Uh, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I think that I would definitely accept a challenge. I mean, we could do something maybe for charity or something like that. But I would get off my butt and go train, and I would accept the challenge without any hatred or shit talking or anything like that. But it's a competitive nature in me, and I think my loved ones and my friends probably would object because I'm an old man. But I think so is Mark. He's only a few years younger than me. So I would totally accept the challenge. I would totally go. I mean, I doubt that kicking would be allowed because that's just not Mark's thing, and I think it would be very dangerous for him. But I would say yes in a fight where anything goes. I think he would be in severe trouble. But but boxing, maybe, I don't know, maybe he'd beat me. But regardless, you know what? If it came to it, I would gladly accept, and I would gladly train. I would gladly shake his hand if he beats me, and that's it.
First, you heard it here first, guys. So we'll get this set up. So moving on, Rob. Anyway, so how important is it for yourselves, for example, and anyone in the supplement industry just to keep reformulating their products?
TJ at one point said to me that we should not reformulate every year. And at first I disagreed, then I actually kind of agreed. I don't have an answer for that, to be honest with you. I can explain, but I don't know if my answer is going to be if it's going to be the right answer. It's very, very hard for me. Thank you so much, Matt. Really appreciate it. It's very hard for me to comment on it. The reason why I mean, somebody asked me, I think it was Mitch, Subs on Deck, about Hooligan V6. And I told them that V6 formula was done before V5 was released. While V5 was in the production, I was already working on V6. Because I think that there is no limit to perfection, which is good and not so good. Because, you know, I mean, you can't reformulate all the time. You can't do it all the time. It's expensive. It's a huge headache. Nevertheless, being as competitive as I am, when I see flaws or I know I can do better, it's killing me. I have to do better. You know, it's a personal thing more than even market thing. It's more than anything. And, you know, for the past couple of years, and not that our products are cheap, but at the same time, if you noticed, if you compare the label of, you know, Hooligan, I think 3 through 5, on a retail spectrum, we did not increase price. We kept the price the same, but our cost definitely went up just because of the ingredients. And right now with Chinese market and all the bullshit that is going on, the cost, like for example, of bare knuckle, I was just told because we just, you know, reordered more because it's such a popular product. It's already going to cost us more than we just paid a few months ago, and we're not going to change the price. So we're taking a hit without reformulating. It's the same formula, but it's going to cost us more. I just think that there needs to be reformulations. I do believe in it. I'm not going to put a time frame on it, whether it's a year, 2, or 5, but you need to reformulate simply because the market is evolving, simply because you know, ingredients are coming. Some of them are good ingredients. Some of the new ingredients are phenomenal. Some of them are junk, like you said yourself. You know, brands. I mean, the companies that are releasing ingredients saying, "Oh, look, you know, we've done studies, we've done tests," but those are not tests. Those are bullshit. You know, but you have some ingredients that are good, and if you can make your product better and you can, you know, improve on a formula, then you're showing your customers that you actually care. You actually care, and not like, you know, like you said. Again, I didn't try Excelsior. I didn't try. No, that's true. People should educate themselves, but very, very few actually do. You know, they hear, "Oh, my boy said that pre-workout is strong. I'm going to take it." So unfortunately, that's the situation that you deal with. So, you know, Supplement King is right. There should be a more interest to educate yourself what you're putting in your body, 100%. But the reality of it is that not many people do. So going back to the subject, I think that companies should definitely try, and because the thing is, it's the same thing as like we said about PricePlow. The lying, deceiving, sooner or later will catch up with you and will definitely threaten your integrity, which will hurt your pockets. Eventually it will. The same thing is with pre-workouts and fat burners and whatnot. Rather than just putting a fancy ingredient that does very little, why don't you actually do an actual research and try to put the best product so people can praise you for the fact that you are trying to release the better product? So reformulations, if somebody does it or don't, I think it's a personal choice by a brand itself. But I personally believe that it's a good move for sure, and only you know, a testament of the fact that you're trying to make the products better for the consumer.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
100%. Quite an interesting one I've got coming up now is, what is your favorite product you've ever used? Ever?
Mine or just in general?
Yours personally.
Oh.
Sorry, across every brand, not just Apollon.
So many.
Damn.
Tough question.
I actually, believe it or not, I really liked that impressed me a lot. Recently, that I tried Ghost Protein.
Oh,
I was very impressed with the collaboration that they did with Nutty Butters. Uh,
Okay, yeah.
I think that that was very, very impressive. Is it the best tasting protein? I don't know because I'm very, very reserved when it comes to best tasting protein because everybody has different opinions. But it was definitely very impressive, and I think that they were again kind of innovators in the field.
Mm.
When it comes to my personal, I would say that probably the product I'm most proud of would be still Hooligan, because I think that that's the product that kind of put us on a map.
Mm.
And it's not something I use all the time. I think that I use Overtime and Kumite more, but Hooligan is definitely the one I'm most proud of because I think that that's what set us apart. That's the one that gave us the most criticism and heat, and yet today, it's kind of like our flagship product.
Yeah, I agree. And Matt's just actually written to me and Craig, what's our favourite Apollon?
Hmm.
Well, that's so tough. It's tough. It's for me. Um, I probably would say Hooligan, the Stim version, just simply because for me, Assassin's a bit too strong, like on a daily basis at least.
I
Um,
agree.
Hooligan's more comprehensive, so it gives you the pump and focus and everything. So that for me would be mine, and then maybe the 50-50 proteins just behind it because they are so good.
I agree.
oh, that's tough. I don't know. Probably, I want to go a bit of a different route, and I'm going to say Overtime. I
Ah,
really, really like them. They're just so versatile. You can use them for so many different things. So if I had to choose one, that would probably be it.
I think that I understand what Craig says because Overtime is definitely the most, I would say, unique because on the surface it's just you know um, it's a nootropic, but
mm,
Mm.
the reality is it's like so much more than nootropic, and a lot of times like people are saying like it's a bit strong. Well, you can take kind of three-quarters of a serving and still get plenty, and it's still going to be in terms of like nootropics, it's still going to be more than majority of products on the market. So yeah, I definitely Overtime is something that I use quite often, and I was prescribed Adderall, and I didn't like the feeling of it, especially after the crash. And ever since, I haven't used Adderall. Whenever I need energy and that focus, Overtime is my go-to.
Mm.
mm. Cracking. Right. I've got a juicy question now. So, who are Apollon's biggest haters?
Hmm. This is this is the. I mean, there are quite a few. There are
Yeah.
definitely quite a few, but one that comes to mind is actually somebody I don't mention at all. And I'm not going to say it right now either, and I'll explain why. It's not because I'm afraid or anything like that. I mean, clearly we know that's not the case. The reason is because I think that they're like, for example, we talk about PricePlow openly, and it's not because of hatred. It's mostly because it's a pure criticism that comes out of me. But believe it or not, I will say it. I think PricePlow is or still is a relevant channel. They are relevant, and that's the reason why I do bring them up quite often, and I'm willingly talking about them all the time.
Yeah.
But the number one hater would be somebody who I don't think is relevant. And
Okay.
for that reason, I don't want to mention him on air. I don't address him on social media, even though there were numerous for quite some time attacks and jabs and whatnot. But I kind of gave myself a promise that when I'm gonna see the person next, I will address it in person as it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
because I think that giving him credibility or mentioning him on social media or mentioning him on any podcast gives him attention that I don't think he deserves.
Mm.
I think he's been a coward and somebody who is backstabbing and somebody who is just not a man in my eyes because people don't do that, in my opinion, at least. So I wouldn't be surprised if, people will find out sooner or eventually because I will be addressing him in person. that's 100% promise. Up until then, no matter what he says, who he says to, what he continues, his little attacks and whatnot, if people are not significant enough, if people are not worthy, and if people are looking for social media bickering and bitching and getting 5 minutes of fame because they're unable to get it otherwise, I'm not going to bite. I'm not going to do it. So I have zero interest of bringing them up if they're not worth it. So, not going to mention him, and we're going to move on. But like I said, doesn't mean that I'm going to leave it alone.
Nice.
Makes sense. Best way to go about it. Moving on to something a little bit different. Obviously, we did something new and different with our pre-review of Double Impact. What did you think of that? And do you think it rubbed anyone the wrong way?
Well, I'll tell you what. Okay. So you released Bare Knuckle review, and I remember I absolutely loved it. I loved the transparency of it. I loved how you broke down each and every stuff that you usually do. To be honest with you, you were predictable, and that's a compliment.
Good.
I don't like surprises. I don't like bullshit. I knew what's in Bare Knuckle. I knew how it feels. I knew what it delivers, and that's the reason why I said I'm not scared at all. Just like I was driving and a person was saying to me, "So are you okay with a podcast with Review Brothers?" I'm like, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm so relaxed. Relaxed because it's a conversation with friends, and that's easy for me. It's not scripted. The same thing was with your reviews. I know what to expect. I know what to expect from my products. I know what I expect. I knew you're going to say that, thank you, Melissa. I knew that this conversation is going to be easy for me. And I know what's in a product. So why should I be worried? I knew you're not going to say it's a cheap product. Well, it's not. I knew you're not going to say it tastes delicious, but I knew you're not going to say it tastes disgusting because it's not. And I knew that you're going to break down. For me, it was the most important thing is to make sure that you point out that it's not a fucking pump product, because it's not. It's a pre-workout minus stims. And you did exactly that. So it was a great review, predictable, entertaining, fun. I was watching it with Carolina, I think, and Jose. We loved it and moved on. So I sent you a message thanking you because that was the polite thing to do. And you replied to me, "We're not done yet." I had no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So I thought that I was like, did they get Double Impact? Because we sent it like the day before. I was like, there is no fucking way, especially the way the postal service works right now.
Sure.
And then when I saw, like, I don't know, an hour later, the photo of Double Impact in you, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But that took me by surprise. And I was like, okay, now I'm worried because this is weird.
Yeah.
And when I saw, I think that what you did was gutsy. It was very, very innovative. It was different. I mean, I always believe in the fact that you have to have balls to do certain things, and you have to try, whether it's a new training system or new diet or new approach to something, you always have to try and play different variations and stuff like that. I read some of the comments, and typically I don't read comments. I have a personal kind of rule not to read comments because I don't give a shit what people say. On the other hand, I know that there is a possibility that somebody's going to trigger me and ruin my mood. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to stay away from it. But this one, I actually went and I read comments specifically because I was interested to see what people will say. And as far as I remember, everybody was positive. I mean, I didn't go in because I'm pretty sure by now you probably have a gigantic list of comments. But based on what I saw, everybody liked it. It was very different. I mean, the criticism could come from the fact that you don't have the product, but you did admit that you don't have a product. So, I mean, you went based on, you've tried Hooligan, and the Hooligan is in Double Impact. You've tried Assassin. You broke down each and every, ingredient, and you assumed, what it probably would feel like. I wouldn't be surprised that some people would not like it. I wouldn't be surprised. But on the other hand, it doesn't matter. You made that call. You didn't ask me. You didn't ask anyone. You did something that has never been done before. And whether you're going to do it again or not, I'm pretty sure you made a decision already based on the feedback. And as far as I know, the feedback was very, very positive. And, at the end of the day, you have to try different things. You have to try different things. You work out on a daily basis. If you're going to stick with the same exercises, same program, same sets, same reps, you're not going to go very far. You have to experiment with different approaches. And I think that's what you did. And to be honest with you, who the fuck cares what anyone thinks? At the end of the day, it's what your audience thinks, what your followers think, and what you think. I thought it was gutsy. I thought it was bold. I thought it was different, unique. I don't necessarily think that I actually don't think it was bad at all. I think it was interesting. And I would like to see more innovations from people in general and kind of like try different things. Maybe you'll never go back to it again. And maybe this is going to be something that is staple, but without trying. And, I see a lot of channels that people are really doing same shit again and again and again and again and again. And it's good to have your signature. It's good to have kind of your signature move. But, remember Chuck Liddell in UFC?
Yeah.
Chuck Liddell used to chase people around the cage, holding his right hand like this, and he would chase them. Literally, they were so scared to get hit with that right hand because chances are if you hit with that right hand, you're going down because he was hitting so hard. He had a knockout power. But all he was doing, he was running around the cage, chasing you, and sooner or later he would hit you and you go down. And everybody used to make the same mistake. They were running away from that right hand constantly. And it's just a matter of time before he would actually catch them, hit them, and put them to sleep. Until he fought, I believe it was Rashad Evans or maybe Jackson. Somebody who actually, instead of stepping back, stepped forward and hit him before Chuck hit him. After that, Chuck Liddell, I think, lost 5 consecutive fights because people had his number.
Yeah.
They realized that to fight Chuck Liddell is not running away from him, but in fact actually running towards him and fighting him rather than you just run away and you're going to get hit sooner or later. So as soon as fighters changed that approach, Chuck Liddell all of a sudden was beatable. So I think that what you did was, instead of doing same kind of like thing, you did something different, and that can only be applauded, in my opinion. Some people will disagree with you, but that's normal. That's absolutely normal.
Quite funny because the feedback we've had tens of, coming probably up to hundreds of people saying that they've tried Double Impact and that we was right about the we gave in the review. Really good to see. So it might be something we do again in the future. We don't know, but really, really, really good feedback. So thank you to everyone.
Speaking of Double Impact, we did something. We were talking about the final scoop yesterday about products that are coming out or ingredients or whatnot, and the companies are saying, "Well, this is game changing." And Shane hates that word, that phrase. I hate it too. I do, because it's so watered down right now that everybody has game-changing thing, and in reality, it's bullshit. Well, I do wholeheartedly believe that with Double Impact, we actually did something game-changing, because never has this been done before. Bringing 2 pre-workouts, putting them under one label, let's face it, it is a game-changing because it's the very first time that it has been done. I never look at it that way, but the reality is, it's the truth. I'm almost certain that it's a matter of time before somebody will copy us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a matter of time because the innovation in this game is minimal. It's absolutely minimal. So I know I'm planning already a few of those because it was interesting. It was cool. So I think we will do it again, where we maybe pair 2 products or 3 products, or take ingredients from certain products and mix it. You have to experiment. You have to do it. It can fail. It can fail, but that's what sets you apart from not only your competitors, but that's what makes you, well, I don't want to use the word great, but different, ballsy, gutsy, and willing to take a risk. And those are the people typically that succeed. Sometimes they fail, but you don't know without trying.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. So, Rob, moving on to something a bit more fun, shall we say? So, the Apollon All-Star Seminar, what do you think is going to happen with that? Because obviously it's been a while now. Couldn't run it last year because of COVID. So, do you think it will go ahead this year?
I mean, by the looks of it, I'm still planning to have it. I think that, they're easing up the restrictions in New Jersey, in New York. It makes no point, no sense of doing it unless we can have a packed house, because the whole point is to bring even more people than last time. I would definitely like to have you guys back. I would definitely like to have Robert back. I would definitely like to have Shane, even though he's in New Zealand, but we are talking about it. If Lucas can make it, that would be phenomenal. Of course, we have to bring Branch Warren. That goes without saying. So, putting all that together is very, very challenging as is. Now, if you add to it the pandemic and the restrictions, it makes it even more challenging. So if they ease up the restrictions and everything goes the way it goes, I'm still planning on having it sometimes end of summer, sometimes in the fall. I just have to line up everybody's schedule, etc., and just to make sure that, the flying situation, international travel is in place and everything else. But I didn't give up on the idea of having it in 21.
Awesome, and I recommend everyone tries to get there because the last one we went to was amazing.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, and again, we have to raise the bar. It has to be better.
Awesome. Another very Apollon-related question in the form of, who do you think's been better for Apollon Nutrition out of Juan and Branch Warren, who's currently obviously with you? Who do you think's done more? Or
I think that Juan was definitely a great addition to the team. I think he definitely loved. I don't know if he still does, but at least he loved the brand. He used the brand on a daily basis, and he showed it everywhere. And he was a team player. I can't say anything negative about about Juan in terms of that. He kind of like went a different route, and it was time for us to to go our separate ways for obvious reasons. He has his own business. He's busy. We grew, and our demands obviously have increased, and we shifted direction. Right now, we are with Branch Warren, and as of right now, and the way things are going, things have been great. Obviously, Branch Warren is probably one of the hardest training athletes in the game ever. And even though he retired, I mean, look at him. The guy is an absolute beast. He almost put Jose in a hospital when Jose visited him, So I think he corresponds well with what we are trying to do in terms of make sure that people understand that we make products for athletes. We make products for hardcore athletes. We make products for those that want the best products, that are, fully transparent, hard hitting, and delivering only the best. And I think in that regard, Branch is definitely representing rather well. He's been with us for a few months, and I can say nothing but great things about him. Jose visited him twice in Texas, and he was super accommodating. He was super friendly. He was super team player. Whenever I need to talk to him, I'll send him a text message, and we'll say okay, we're talking tomorrow at 10 a.m. on a phone. It's a guarantee he's calling at 10 a.m. I have never seen an athlete that is that punctual. I mean, the guy is 10 a.m., it's 10 a.m., 11 a.m., it's 11 a.m. He's always on time, always super, super professional. Whatever we need, he really cares about the brand. I mean, his wife is Trish Warren, who was a top fitness, IFBB fitness competitor, very well respected, phenomenal woman. And Branch is under contract with us, not Trish. But if you go on her social media, she constantly promotes Apollon. Constantly. It's like we got 2-for-1 kind of a deal. And the guy is not about money. The guy is about transparency. He's about quality. And, you know, he genuinely shows that he cares. He genuinely, and that's to me the most important thing. You know, I need to see that you actually care. If I see that you're doing something just for the paycheck, then I'm sorry, it's not going to work out. I understand that money talks, and I understand we all have to make a living, but we're a small company. Even if we would be $10 million company, I think I would still call it a small company, and I like that kind of a family feel. Again, you've been to Apollon, you know how it feels, you know how we are. I want to preserve that. I want to preserve that. I want to make sure that those who, you know, passionate and believe in our brand, our true friends, collaborators, I want to make sure that they kind of, it's like a part of the family. And Brian's been outstanding so far, and like I said, I have nothing but great things to say about him.
Awesome. Oh, that's awesome to hear. I think that was all of our questions, wasn't it, Aaron? Unless there's anything else you wanted to bring up, Rob, at the end? Anything you want to ask us, or?
No, I mean, like I said, if you have anything far away, I'm having a blast for sure. You know, from me, the only thing I want to say is I definitely, you know, you constantly complimenting me and Apollon on success and growth and stuff like that. And likewise, I want to make sure that you understand that I have utmost respect for you guys and what you've done. And I can't thank you enough for, you know, for the love and everything that that you showed us. And I really, really, really thank you for that. I think you've been amazing. And it's been exciting because we kind of like started growing together, you know, you with your channel, and even though Apollon started 6 years ago, but the real growth actually started around 2018. And not to say that you haven't contributed greatly to Apollon's success would be an understatement. Jason, you need to get together with the Review Brothers. You know, so I'm really impressed with what you accomplished, and I think that it's been through extremely hard work. Your reviews are fun, they knowledgeable. You're mixing fun entertainment with knowledge, and that's not easy to do. You know, I don't like, that's me personally, I don't like too much clowning around. It's just not my thing. Not that it's a bad thing either. It's just like everybody has different things. I would like, you know, whenever I see a review, I would like to see a comprehensive review about the product. And, you know, and I think that's exactly what you're providing for your listeners, for your followers. And yeah, so, you know, congratulations on your success. I'm very proud of you. Definitely will see you either in UK or in United States or both.
Thank you so much, Rob.
Thank you so much.
We can't wait to be back. And I just wanted also to thank everyone that tuned in today. You know, it does mean a lot, and we'll definitely get some more of these going very soon, because it seems like a lot of people have messaged in today. So fantastic turnout, and it's always good speaking to you, Rob. You know, you're straight to the point, and we really respect that. We love your products. Obviously, we've been to Apollon before, and we'd love to come back. And success to both of us, hopefully in the future.
Carolina said that nobody can mop the floor like you can, so
Don't in the wrist.
I think she just wants to use you, to be honest.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you guys, appreciate it. Have a great remaining of a Sunday, and you know, talk to you soon.
Thank you, Rob. Cheers.
All right.
Yeah. Bye everyone. Bye.
Bye.